Good to see you again on this episode of Culture Mosaic. As usual, we'll be giving you a closer look at stories that feature the people, places, and events that are embracing parts of Vietnamese culture. In today's edition, we'll take off to Ninh Thuận province to join Cat, the traditional festival of Cham ethnic people. And later on, get ready for some fusion of jazz and Swedish folk tunes brought to the Vietnamese audiences by Tobin Big Band. So stay tuned. In the headlines, three-dimensional paper craft becomes increasingly popular among Vietnamese youngsters. Then we'll meet with a Tobin Big Band who brought Swedish-style jazz to Vietnam. And American photographer searches for Vietnamese soul. Cat is the traditional festival of Cham ethnic people in the central province of Ninh Thuận. The festival is to pay respect to gods, ancestors, national heroes, and kings. And in this week's edition of Culture and Lifestyle, let's visit this province and see what Cham people do in the biggest festival of the year.
I'm in Ninh Thuận province, where you can find the largest Cham community in Vietnam.
Wherever you find a Cham tower, for sure you will also find a Cham community nearby. Ninh Thuận has a total of 3 Cham temple complexes, serving about 7,000 Cham people. According to Cham's tradition, this is where they worship their gods and ancestors. And one of their biggest ritual occasions is the Cat festival. The event is annually held for 3 days with many cultural activities of Cham people.
Now I'm with the Cham people to welcome the costumes that was brought back all the way from the mountain. Welcoming costumes is the first and also the most important ritual of the Cat festival. It represents the brotherhood of the Cham and Rak Ley people.
Legend has it that as the Rak Ley people is the youngest brother of Cham ethnic group, a child of goddess Ponagar, they were allowed to keep the ancestors' precious legacy.
Phong tục rước y trang này thì theo cái phong tục chung của đồng bào thì cái giao lưu giữa hai cái dân tộc thì khi người Rak Ley là chuyển cái y trang giữ cất giữ hàng năm của mình về cái đền cất giữ y trang để ngày mai là đưa vào và để khoác cái áo y trang cho bà ở trong các cái đền tháp của người Cham, nên đây là một cái phong tục và đối với người Cham hết sức quan trọng.
Once every year, Cat festival is a chance for Cham and Rak Ley people to meet each other.
Following the costume welcoming ceremony, hundreds of Cham people gathered here to perform their traditional dances and songs. And in Cham culture, this performance signals the official start of Cat festival in 22 Cham villages throughout Ninh Thuận province.
Cat festival takes place in 3 different temples in Ninh Thuận province at the same time and same date. When the sacred dances end, the temple's gate is opened, God's statue is bathed and changed costume. Especially outside the Cham temples, there are boisterous parties with offerings of goat meat, chicken, rice, wine, fruits, and so on.
Out in the temple yard, hundreds of villagers have gathered since early morning to offer the best local produce to their god. And looking at this, you can see the gastronomy scene of Cham people.
offerings are laid down on neatly around the temples. People patiently wait for their turn to pray. Each offering represents a different wish in Cham culture. Reflection of the unique culture brings special feature to Cham cuisine.
Ý là cầu khẩn cho mạnh khỏe con cháu học xa gà học hành đó. Cái này bây giờ mình giái là phải cô gà, bây giờ mình cô gái mình đi trái cây cũng được thì mình đi giái để ông bà biết ơn mình, thì sau này cho ông bà cho mình mà ăn được phát tài là con cháu của mình đi học xa hay là chàng rể con cái mình đi học, mình cầu khẩn cho ông bà mình thủ hộ trăm năm hạnh phúc.
On the third day of Kate festival, Cham people gather to prepare for a family offering ritual. Every year, a family is chosen to make offerings for the whole big family. On that day, other families bring their offerings to that chosen family to offer their ancestors, wishing for their support and luck in their businesses.
So, family gathering marks the end of Kate, and this festival is an occasion for Cham community to wish for favorable weather, bumper crop, and social harmony.
Have you ever thought that you can create stunning cards, stamps or cute kitties only from paper? Introduced into Vietnam just a few years ago, three-dimensional paper craft is becoming increasingly popular among Vietnamese youngsters. Now let's explore this art in this week's edition of Cultural Lifestyle.
Now with just one piece of paper and some simple tools like these, you can actually create something really cool like these. Well, believe it or not, see for yourself.
Curious how I was born? Let's find out.
Impressed by the art of creating various things from paper, Quang Ba has been done papercraft for over 3 years now. The very first step is finding the template, then printing it out. The template can be either found from the internet or designed by the papercraft maker.
Mình bắt đầu chơi cái môn paper craft này từ khi mình lên đại học. Mình làm và mình tặng cho bạn bè. Dần dần thì mình chơi nhiều thành quen. Sau đó thì mình phát triển cái môn này lên thành ra một cái môn nghệ thuật kiểu giao lưu với tất cả mọi người có cùng đam mê với mình.
Papercraft hobbyists like Ba have gathered and formed a papercraft community where they meet to share experiences in making papercraft as well as their complete artwork.
Cái mô hình giấy thì phát triển vào thời kỳ chiến tranh thế giới từ đầu thế kỷ 20. Trong cái thời kỳ đấy thì hầu như mọi cái nguyên vật liệu đều phải rất là tiết kiệm và quản lý chặt chẽ. Thì giấy thì không nằm ở trong số đấy. Và lúc đấy người ta sẽ dùng mô hình giấy để giúp cho các binh sĩ giống như là họ có cái thời gian thư giãn. Có lẽ là đối với những người làm mô hình giấy thì khi mà bọn mình làm từng chi tiết một, từ những cái thứ nhỏ nhất của một cái xe, một cái tàu, hoặc là của bất kỳ một cái mô hình gì bọn mình làm, thì cứ mỗi lúc nó hình thành, nó dần dần lớn lên ấy, nó có thể nói là giống như là cảm giác như của một người cha ấy, nó nhìn thấy cái đứa con mình hàng ngày nó lớn dần lên ấy.
Besides downloading simple templates, these hobbyists draw and create their signature models.
Đây là xe tranh 3 giờ 38 tên của Đức ạ. Em làm nó từ khoảng hơn 1 tháng trước. Đầu tiên phải làm khung, nó rất chi tiết bên ngoài rồi lắp vào rồi fix xe tăng.
Mình phải vẽ tất cả mọi thứ vì nó không có bất kỳ một cái thiết kế nào cả. Cái xe Jeep này là mình làm đến gần 1 năm. Và phải làm tất cả các chi tiết của nó. Ví dụ như nó có thể mở ở đây, trong này chúng ta có thể nhìn thấy kể cả cái còi này, đến cái bình ắc quy này, rồi đến những cái đèn của nó này. Cả một ngày có khi chỉ làm được 1-2 thứ thôi.
Originating from Japan, the art of 3D papercraft has become popular worldwide. While the art of origami is simply folding paper, 3D papercraft requires extra steps like gluing and imaging in multiple dimensions. Therefore, this form of art is attractive on its own right.
Mô hình giấy là từ một cái mô hình phẳng và các bạn sẽ phải làm nên một thứ trong không gian. Thì riêng cá nhân mình thấy thì cái này nó giúp gia tăng cái trí thông minh tưởng tượng không gian rất là tốt.
Làm cái này có thể là nó phát triển cái khả năng tư duy sáng tạo, cái tư duy logic và cái tính kiên trì tỉ mỉ.
Having tried on my own, I enjoyed a pleasant 30 minutes being patient and figuring out what part to glue or to fold.
Why it's not that difficult to make a 3D paper craft like these, so you can actually try it for yourself.
You're tuning into Culture Mosaic, our weekly journal featuring the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international cultural events happening around the country. We hope to become the bridge connecting artists and their works with our viewers out there. So don't go away, we have a lot more in this week's instrument coming up for you in just a moment. The Beethoven Big Band, consisting of 18 members, is considered the pride of Sweden. They made a career out of performing all over the globe, and as part of this year's European Music Festival, the band came to Vietnam. Their combination of jazz and Swedish folk tunes treated Vietnam audiences to an exciting musical experiment. Let's find out more about these musical talents in this week's edition of On the Mic.
Från pianosolot.
Beethoven Big Band, led by saxophonist, composer and arranger Helgi Albin, has been working hard to make their forward-thinking jazz music known to the world. The award-winning 18-member ensemble dedicated to performing new music has toured in Europe, Australia and South America, and worked with jazz masters Dizzy Gillespie, Dave Lieberman and Michael Brecker, among many others. This was the first time they came to Vietnam to perform at this year's European Music Festival. As the biggest band performing at the festival, the band offered Vietnamese audiences engaging jazz melodies and grand-scale tunes. Hello and welcome to Vietnam. Now, Beethoven Big Band has enjoyed a long history since it was formed in 1979. So has the band always had 18 members?
Yes, the band has always had 18 members most of the time. When I took over the band, I developed it to be 5 trombones, 5 trumpets, and before in traditional big band there's 4 trumpets and 4 trombones. So I wanted the full section. So I developed it to be a little bit larger.
As such a large band, is it a challenge for the band members to rehearse and perform together on stage?
So many people, of course, it's like a little symphony orchestra, of course. It takes a lot of rehearsal time to make it tight together, and the tunes is more developed than in a quintet. It takes time. I mean, 30 years together, and I'm lucky to have the same musicians, almost the same musicians, in these 30 years. So it takes time, but the main thing is that it's so fun to play together, and they love, or we love the music.
Albin has turned this ambitious modern big band based in Malmö, southern Sweden, into a musical institution with an international reputation. He always wanted the band to play with the flexibility of a quartet, and so they perform polished ensemble music much like a small group. They are light on their feet even when the band's 18 members are playing full blast. As the pride of Sweden, so what are you hoping to bring to the Vietnamese audience this time?
The same as we bring to when we're touring all over Europe or South America, the music, and I know that in Vietnam they're not so used to jazz music so much as in European countries or America. So to get a taste of what the Swedish jazz musicians are playing.
Toven Big Band took the stage in Hanoi on November the 20th. They performed 6 compositions, including Papa Knows Best, Get Up, Effortlessly, and Con Brio. The contemporary show ranged from pleasing to vibrant.
Well, I didn't have actually any expectation because I knew nothing about this band, but I was very nicely surprised that it's very good cooperation between the players, and I was surprised by the size. They are really huge, but I like also that they give a lot of space for individual players, and also they played very well together. So it was a very fantastic concert. I like it very much.
Người ta có sự chuẩn bị rất là kỹ lưỡng, rất là công phu, và nó như kiểu như là một cái sự ăn khớp nhịp nhàng ấy. Tức là sau khi mà mỗi một nghệ sĩ thể hiện xong một cái thì nhanh chóng là một nghệ sĩ khác ra và rất là ăn khớp với nhau, rất hay.
Despite their grand size, the band's soloists shine throughout the performance.
Well, this one was very good actually, because 12-1 is a really good band, and I think Swedish jazz is right now it's more of the modern thing, and like I think Swedish jazz kind of makes you think about the Swedish nature a lot, because it's more of a modern and like flowing and thinking style of jazz. So when I hear Swedish jazz, I kind of think of the Swedish nature and the forests and stuff.
The band also provided audiences with a taste of Swedish-infused, forward-thinking jazz. With such a unique trait and musical talent, Tovin Big Band has blown a new breath of colorful and lively contemporary jazz into the Vietnamese music scene. Okay, so jazz is filled with improvisation and spontaneity. So as such a big band, do you guys get to be spontaneous on stage?
Of course, this is one of my main thing about my music. That's the way I write the music, because I wanted to be not the same every night. There's a lot of space for just the improvisation parts. And also I write especially because I know my music very well. When I compose my music, I write for this special musician.
Jazz music is often associated with American musicians. So how different is it to be played by a Swedish band?
The playing by itself is not so different, but the way we develop it in my band is you can say different. Okay. The music can be more a Swedish touch, Swedish coming from Swedish folk music, and this was one thing I was very serious about when I started as a band leader for this band. I would try to make it not so American. Swedish folk music has a lot of built-in kind of in the melodies. I don't mean I copy the music, but it is also kind of how I, as a Swedish person, can feel about music.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much yourself.
An exhibition entitled The Soul of Vietnam opened in Hanoi on November 22nd by American photographer Lawrence Datilio. This is the fifth time the event has been held in Vietnam and the US. The 35 photos displayed were chosen from over 600,000 photos taken over the past 9 years. So in this week's Connecting Cultures, let's try to see how this American has visualized the invisible soul of Vietnam through his camera lens.
Simple moments of Vietnamese people in their daily routines. These photos are part of the soul of Vietnam in the eyes of an American photography artist, Lawrence Datilio, or Larry. In his first visit to Vietnam in 2006, he was immediately charmed by the country and decided to make it his second home. With the eagerness of a curious person, Larry started his own project of understanding the soul of Vietnam.
This whole project started as an idea just to photograph Hanoi. However, as the project grew and we photographed more and more, it was suggested that I should make this a story about the whole country.
The busy markets of Hanoi, where lies the vitality of the city's people, are one of Larry's favorite places. He usually brings local friends here to hear their stories and to have an insight into the life and people of Vietnam. That is how he can capture the real Vietnamese spirit in his photos.
Phong cách của bác thì nó rất là tự nhiên, nó không cần phải tôn lên người ta đẹp lên theo kiểu hoàn hảo, mà thực sự là cái màu sắc chân thực nhất của người được chụp, của những cái mà nó thực sự xảy ra. Thì mình rất thích điều đó, nhưng mà mình xem lại ảnh thì đấy đúng là khuôn mặt của mình.
After 9 years, 600,000 photos were taken, and last week this collection was introduced to the public of Hanoi with 35 photos that for Larry best represent the soul of a country. The three main themes of this exhibition are landscapes, characters, and different moments to express his feelings about and viewpoints on a changing of a country of boundless energy.
Tôi thấy một cái bức ảnh về gọi là tựa đề là nếp nhăn. Ông ấy chụp được cái khoảnh khắc thần thái của một người đại phụ nữ Việt Nam. Nói chung là đôn hậu và rất đẹp lão trong một khoảnh khắc bình thường trong cuộc sống bình thường thường ngày.
That was also one of Larry's favorite photo for its inspiring story behind.
She sits all day in a small market in the old quarter of Hanoi, folding boards of paper. That material is then being recycled. All day long, she does the folding. And why that job? Well, she's blind. She cannot see. It's the only job she can do. And yet this woman seems like she must be a very elegant person by what she's wearing, by the expression on her face. So she's as an example of a really important story for all of us. Story about remaining useful even though you're quite elderly.
This is the fifth time the project has been introduced to the public of Vietnam and US. At the exhibit, Larry's new photo book was introduced, and this is the final result of his 9-year project.
We've been in Vietnam for 5 years now. We've had the pleasure to experience so much of this country. And this exhibition really was a visual representation of our experiences here. It's behind the scenes. It's not the tourism. It's what's happening to keep this country alive, what the citizens of Vietnam work at, and how that can be communicated from a visitor to a wider audience.
Thì đây là một góc cạnh của nghệ sĩ Larry mà ông rất là muốn truyền tải đúng những cái gì khi mà một người đến với Hà Nội người ta nhìn thấy như thế. Thì tôi nghĩ là khi những cái bức ảnh như này mà đem về Mỹ thì công chúng Mỹ sẽ được nhìn thấy cái góc thật của Hà Nội, của cuộc sống và của con người Việt Nam nói chung.
So that's 9 years that we've been making these photographs. And it took that for me to believe that the photographs that I can show you now really do reflect at least my idea of the soul of Vietnam, and they do that accurately. I believe you must live with your subject for a long time to completely understand it.
And that brings us to the end of this week's Culture Mosaic. I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, remember to send us your comments or suggestions for the show at culturemosaic@vtv.vn. You can also watch repeats of our program online at vtv4.vn. Once again, thanks for watching, and remember to catch us at the same time next week. Goodbye for now.